Good afternoon, patrons. I'm excited because here we are already at the end of year 2 in the curriculum painting. And so we've been taking the painting lessons that started with red, yellow, and blue in the primary grades, and they're working into the secondary colors. And in the second grade, we started by bringing in those secondary colors, which, of course, we had violet and green and orange as our colors. These 3 colors, which are mixed out of the primaries, are what we can focus on making compositions with the children in grade 2 or say before the 9-year change. And these children can make stories out of them, as we've had color stories, which are very important. And we can also just work purely with color compositions. But the most important thing for these children is that the representations that we are trying to bring out in the story, be it a sunflower or some grapes, or even the image of a simple animal, should be coming out of the color forms rather than making a form and coloring it in. So always color leading to form. And this is how we demonstrate to the children using form and avoiding outlines in our paintings. So I want to talk about why it's important to paint color forms rather than paint an outline and then have children fill it in. So let's just start with a blue. This is the ultramarine blue, which will make a really pretty purple. And we're just going to allow this blue to spread out as a form. Because when you tell a child a certain story and they have an idea of what the form is going to be, and they outline it, then they'll be more likely to get frustrated with the way theirs looks, whether it looks like the one that was demonstrated or not. So by starting with a mass and allowing this mass to just get lighter and lighter on its edges, we don't really know where it starts and stops, and the inner critic is less likely to come out and play its tricks. Now, the purple that we're going to create is with a little bit of carmine red on top of this ultramarine blue. And at first it's going to look very red-violet. And then as I spread it around, we can see these purples coming out. And we'll just let that flow outwards ever larger and larger. We're not really trying to create anything here, just mass of color. It may want to change and move according to your own predilection. And then we will complement that, because that is what we're working with here in secondary colors. Let's complement it with an orange gold. This is really quite gold first, and we can warm it up by adding some carmine to it in a moment. But let's just let it seep around. and lighten. And now, as I said, we'll warm up the gold by adding just a little bit of carmine. And you can see that a little bit of carmine goes a long way. There we have two secondary colors, orange and violet, together in a composition. So here you see our composition, and I'm going to lift it up a little bit. It will drip, but that doesn't matter at all. What I want you to note here is that by doing a color composition, we leave ourselves and the children much freer, able to find the images that we might be working with, be it a saint story or perhaps a fable or something else from the second grade curriculum. And it could just be pure color. But we always want to leave the imagination free to see something that goes beyond just the actual forms itself.